Welcome to Allison Rachael Yoga. Today we're going to do a basic warm-up series just to kind of get the body moving, get it open, and get you ready for the rest of your flow with a few simple moves. And let's get started. So we're just going to start with a nice little warm-up here. We're going to start in child's pose. You want your knees out as wide as you can get them, and you want to look down, make sure your big toes are touching. If your knees really don't go wide, it's not a big deal. And then you're going to walk your fingers all the way out as far as you can. So you feel a pull in your shoulders, and then rest your forehead down. And we'll just take a couple of breaths. Really start to feel the breath move in you. And every time you breathe in here, you want to walk your fingers just a little closer to the top of your space. And then when you breathe out, just kind of push your hips back to your heels. So you start to feel some pull in your shoulders. And then a gentle little tug at the back line of your hips, your inner thighs. Work your fingers forward. And then push your hips back. Take another big full breath in. And a big breath out. And then walk your palms up onto the mat. Come up onto your knees. Bring them in for a nice little tabletop position here. And do a check on the alignment of your body. So try to get your shoulders stacked directly over your wrists and then hips over your knees. So your whole body here is kind of in like a 90-degree angle. Try to keep a nice long flat back. You can always place a hand here to kind of stabilize yourself. And we'll move into a little opening for your spine. So we'll take cat-cow. Inhale, you're going to drop your belly and lift your gaze. It's going to feel awkward, but you want to push your hips really, really high. And then as you exhale, take it in. Take cat pose, curl your chin to your chest. You're going to push up here through your spine so you feel your shoulder blades up. And then inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, same thing. Lift your gaze. And exhale, cat. Round through the spine. One more time through. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And exhale, cat pose. And then come back to the neutral spine for just a breath. Walk your hands about an inch or two in front of you. Hop up onto your toes. Find yourself in a high plank position. Keep your gaze down for a nice long neck. Push the mat away from you, take a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, nice little downward facing dog. And just move your feet. And your right leg here, your left leg. Try to spread your fingers as wide as you can. Place your weight in your thumb and your index finger. This is going to take pressure off of your wrist. And then lift up onto your toes here as you breathe in, stretch through your heels. And exhale, send your heels back down to the mat. One more just like that. Inhale. And then exhale down. Find a rhythm here with your breathing as you continue to pedal through your feet. Try to take inhale breaths to lengthen your muscles and your body. So think about as you inhale, you want to lift. And then as you exhale, you want to soften, deepen just a little bit. And you're going to gaze up in between your hands. And then take as many baby steps as you can to the top of the mat. Don't worry, it takes you forever to get there. You can do it all in one big hop. The goal is just to kind of end up at the top of your space. And then bring your feet out wider than you think, all the way out to the edge of your mat. Huge bend in your knees, and then drop your head. This is ragdoll pose. And as you keep the bend in your knees, you want to just sway a little bit from side to side. And you'll feel a pull here along the back of your hamstrings. If you want a little bit deeper on that, just kind of lift your hips a little bit. But very, very generous bend in your knees here. This will protect your low back. As you just move from side to side. Kind of hang out heavy. And then walk your feet in just a tiny little bit. Keep a huge gap though still. Keep that bend in your knees. We're gonna do sunflower pose now. It's gonna sound, rather look a little bit funky, but this is great for opening up the back line of your body, kind of getting a little bit of motion. So interlock your elbows, grab for the opposite one. And then as you inhale, kind of come all the way up to your right. And your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, all the way down. We'll do it another time through. Again, keep your knees slightly bent as you come up, big stretch. And then exhale, come down. We'll hold for just a breath to reset, maybe even a little bit more this way, from side to side. And then we'll move in the other direction. So inhale, all the way up. And exhale, and down to the right. One more time through, inhale all the way up. And exhale, come down. And then hang out for just a reset breath. Bring your hands back down to the mat. You're gonna walk your feet in so that your big toes are together. Look down at your feet. With this nice little triangle in between your feet so that you keep an even foundation. Bend in your knees. And as you inhale, come all the way up. Always looking to support your low back by hand at your sacrum as you come up. And then hands at heart center. Close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. Last little bit of our warm up. And then take your arms overhead, big, big, big stretch. And then as you breathe out, take a nice side body stretch over to the right side of your mat. Try to pull your rib cage here away from your hips so that you feel this pull along your oblique as you reach up. And breathe out. And take an inhale breath, come back up. And switch it out. Stretch over to the left. Again, pull up and out here this time on your right hip so that you feel the pull on your right oblique as you reach up. And out. And inhale all the way back up. Tiny little back bend here to open up through your shoulders. Point your elbows forward, lift your gaze, rock back onto your heels, and then lift up through your breastbone as you reach back. Trace your gaze along the ceiling, take one more breath in, and one more breath out. And now we'll come all the way back up, and then we'll come down. Hang out in a forward fold for just a second. And then we'll flow that, and that'll conclude our warm-up. Inhale all the way up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. And then exhale over to the left. Breathe in, come up. As you breathe out, and lift through your heart, full back bend. And all the way back up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Remember to bend your knees as you fold forward. And breathe in. And breathe out. Place your hands on the mat. And step back. Find yourself back in downward facing dog. And then that is a warm-up series just to kind of get your body moving, just to kind of get yourself flowing. Warm-up shouldn't be too long. They should only be about a couple of minutes just to kind of get everything moving. open up your muscles a little bit, be really slow, and then you're ready to move on to the rest of your practice.